man named Joseph Blackwell came to Philadelphia on a business trip. He stayed with friends at a big house they owned in a nearby city. That night they had a good time visiting, but when Mr. Blackwell went to bed, he tossed and turned and couldn't sleep. Sometime during the night he heard a car turn into the driveway. He went to the window to see who was arriving at such a late hour, and in the moonlight he saw a long, black hearse filled with people. The driver of the hearse looked up to him. When Blackwell saw the man's strange face, he couldn't help but shudder. The driver called to him, "There's room for one more." The driver waited for a minute or two and then drove away. Mr. Blackwell was clearly shaken by this, as when he did go back to bed, it took him a rather long time to go to sleep. In the morning, Blackwell told his friends what had happened. "You were dreaming," they responded. "I must have been," he murmured, but I could have sworn I was awake." After breakfast, he headed back to Philadelphia. He spent the day high above the rest of the city in one of the new office buildings. Late in the afternoon, he was waiting for an elevator to take him back down to the first floor. But when the elevator arrived and the door opened, it was a little too crowded for his liking. Some of the faces also looked eerily familiar. One passenger looked to him. "There's room for one more," he said. The man looked strikingly like the driver of the hearse. A tremble threatened to present itself, but he remained composed. Blackwell only politely declined. "No, thank you. I'll get on the next one down." The doors closed. The elevator started down. Shrieks and screams were heard as the elevator plummeted downward, followed shortly after by a crashing sound. The elevator had fallen to the bottom of the shaft. Everyone aboard was killed.